So I'm back. It's 5:12 p.m. My anxiety is really high right now, going through so much. So that's why me doing videos, it helps calm me down and feel better. You know, despite the online perps doing what they do, But what I was trying to say earlier, well, the other girl, she was like, she had on a mask and glasses and blue and black hair, and you just knew she looked like the Satanist. I think she had a lot of tattoos. So she came in here and used the bathroom, and then I left to go outside, and then you know, it's like, damn, she took an extra long time on purpose so that took an extra long time on purpose, and so anyway, I'm scared to be back on the streets tonight, you know, because you never know what will happen. I mean, the night before last, or early yesterday morning around 3 o'clock, that man sexually assaulting me and stuff like that. And now I really don't know where else to go that would be safe to sleep. And society doesn't care about women being raped, beaten, having things happen to her, and it seems like the only people only care about children and animals, but they don't care about. They should care about children and animals too, but you know, it's like animals are given more priority over people, children or adults, and people have all these justifications why animals should be saved and protected and everything rather than humans. So the same people who would shun homeless people are the same people who would be more than glad to take in a stray cat or a stray dog, even if they're infested with a whole bunch of fleas. They would still sacrifice taking in that stray cat or dog. And just treating the cat and dog better than they treat their own kids. Treating the cat or dog better than they treat their own kids. And so I'm scared about tonight, and it's next week. I know for a fact. I'm sorry for telling TMI, but this is part of the homeless life I'm forced to live. Back to square one with being homeless on the streets, no place to be safe from the rain and bad weather. And I'm going to be menstruating and then have no place to get to use the bathroom and be just bloody and dirty, and nobody really cares. So basically, there's nothing that can be done. I feel like, they got me kicked out of and banned from all the cheaper hotels, and more affordable hotels that are decent, but all the crooked hotels with either bed bug infestations or unsafe areas, where I know I can't go to, where there's no safety and security, and drug infested and bed bug or whatever. So, I just, now it seems like I'll be lucky that now the cheapest hotel I can get is freaking close to $200. That, like what happened this morning and other places, just nothing but games. So that guy, the manager at the Days Inn, he still never called me back. you know, he still never called me back. So I mean, um, I'm not menstruating on my, right now, but I will very soon. And um, and with my disability and struggling with comprehension with certain things, and I think it would be difficult for me to live off the grid or out in the woods somewhere, and I'm scared and wouldn't know how to survive. Plus, I don't have a car to get around. I don't have a vehicle to get around in. You know, and the perps set up and manipulated me to have this difficult lifestyle, and then turn around and say that I should blame myself, and say they make those statements like, you made your bed, you lay in it, or nobody caused these problems but you, and you're to blame, and stop putting your problems on everybody else. Well, my problems is everybody else's fault. Well, not everybody else, but all you perps. Y'all know what y'all did. And nobody's trying to help, not even no family members or nothing. Strangers hate my guts, but strangers got more love for me than my own relatives, foster and biological. I mean, I don't even care about dealing with the foster family no more, or don't care to have them in my life no more, and the same with the biological family. But the biological family members, I've done so much for them, and they've used it, taken advantage of me, and bullied me and pushed me around, and they never really spent a damn penny on me, nothing. I mean, even when hamburgers were $1, they wouldn't even spend $1 burger on me. But I sacrificed so much, lost my freedom, just to do so much for them, being nice, and got hurt being too nice. Still never good enough, you know. And yeah, even back then, I'ma say it again, my twin sister, she even had all that money and was bullying me out of the little money I had. Her, Mark, sometimes Wyatt, but her, Mark, Ramona was the biggest one. The biological nephew, John, when I went by Pete 5 years ago, Pete taking my money, and they treat me like a punished child. If I have anything of value, they think they own it, like my money, car, computer. Like when I used to have a car back then and stuff like that, money, car, computer, they act like they think they own the damn keys and stuff like that. You know, so I never got a penny out of any of them. None of them ever really spent any money on me, but they can spend money on other family members and friends and everything. Not one family member, even if I had not put out any videos, this is just a thing every year. I would get no birthday calls, no calls for birthday wishes, no wish you a Merry Christmas, even though I no longer celebrate. But back then, no wishing me a Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, Happy 4th of July, Happy New Year's, none of that. I had to just be all by myself and do stuff like order pizza for New Year's, or not have any money to have any turkey for Thanksgiving. But then I found out that these are occultic holidays anyway. But the idea, like, my family is not even concerned about me, only in a fake, concerned, bad way, like as if they're just concerned about controlling and using my mental health as a weapon against me. That's the only fake concern they have, is my mental state, But other than that, my family, bad things happen to me, my family don't care. If I tell them I've been raped, they distance themselves from me and then mock and laugh and make fun. If I had this or that happen to me, nobody cares. Me being locked up in a mental institution, they pretend to, even after all those suicide attempts in the past, none of my family members came to see about me except Mark. And then guess what he did? Use that opportunity to take my money, take advantage of me, and scam me out of $30. That was back in 2010. That suicide, October 2010, that suicide attempt. And that was the one where I nearly succeeded at dying. And that suicide attempt was from family members using me and bullying me out of my money. I think I was going to school. Wait, no, not in the fall. It was spring 2010. I was going to school. But I thought I did go in fall 2010 as well. I don't remember. I think I did go in fall 2010. I don't remember. But definitely spring 2010, earlier that year. And I was just freaking on those psych meds and depressed all year, locked up in my apartment. I mean, I don't want to go back to that place again of being that deep into my depression and everything, because it's like I felt like, damn, all I'm good for is to be used, because I didn't know I was dealing with a whole bunch of narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic users, just freaking leeches and stuff like that. I don't even ask my twin sister for much of anything. Other family members, I don't ask them for much of anything. When they had Hurricane Nate, it ended up not hitting New Orleans. But after Hurricane Harvey, I got scared with all those military vehicles and stuff. So, my twin sister asked for me to go up there, and she wanted for me to be there to drive her home after the surgery, and I didn't realize it was part of the targeting and sleep deprivation and stuff like that, and so I wasn't all the way right in the head because of the sleep deprivation, and I didn't realize the sleep deprivation was making me moody and stuff like that. But when I got up there, she she paid for my ticket, the bus ticket to get up there, but then she turned around and forced me to pay her right back. So, but then she wants to take the brownie points for giving me money, or doing something for me. But I had to turn around and pay her right back. But then if I tell her, well, Brandy, it's our birthday, and you can take advantage of certain birthday freebies or whatever. And so she said, she would be like, well, no, I can't go, I can't go to Denny's and stuff, because if I go to Denny's and get the free meal, then I'm going to have to pay for China. Well, you wouldn't feel like you got to pay for me or your kids. You don't like your damn kids to starve, drinking out of toilet. She would call me up and say that even the fake IDMR cult members, she would call me up crying and complaining to me. She tried to make it like as if it was smear campaigns. But I wonder, how would outsiders, or how would they know that the kids drink out of the toilets? And, Raven, I mean, it was true. If the kids drinking out of the toilets, Raven eating her own feces and stuff like that, I mean, living just horrible conditions and stuff like that. But now you want to talk like you think you have so much higher, like so much more sense than I do. Like you think you got more common sense than I do. But you just, the way you handle your kids is like somebody who ain't got no doggone common sense. So, neglected and ignored her kids. And the kids cry all day because they're hungry, or they need this or they need that. And all she do is yell at them and say, shut up. And scream from the top of her lungs, crying and saying, shut up and stuff like that. While they're crying, because, they need, because I would be over the phone, and I was in the mental hospital in 2007 myself, and the kids would be crying, And she screamed from the top of her lungs, shut up, shut up. And the kids would be like 1, 2, and 3 years old, somewhere around there, you know. So, but I don't deserve anything good. I would be, I mean, sorry for this noisy traffic. You know, it's like they forced me to not be in my right mind because those psychiatric medications take your right mind away from you, and you're considered under the influence, you know. So a lot of psychiatric medications, you can't even, they suggest that you not even drive while taking those medicines. But, so people forced me to take a pill, take psych medication back then, and then say that, oh, you don't have the mentality or the sense to drive. You have no business driving. Well, stop forcing psych medication on me and stop using directed energy weapons, torture weapons on me to keep me sleep deprived. And then maybe I can have the mentality and will have the mentality to drive a car. And I have had the mentality to drive a car. With the family being amazed at me driving all the way from, evacuating from Hurricane Katrina to go all the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin by myself. And then drove all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin back to New Orleans by myself. And no car accidents, no tickets, no nothing. The only thing is a flat tire and donut, and it was a perp who deliberately and on purpose put, like, my car rims was 15 inches because I had a Hyundai Elantra, and the car rims was 15. Hold on, can y'all hear me? The car rims was 15 inches, and they put a perp put a 14-inch donut on there, so the car was like leaning to the side, and I didn't have enough money to get another 15-inch regular tire on there. And then, because the perps used to tamper with my car, they used to tamper with it when I was living in New Orleans Towers. And they used to swarm me like before I had any, student loan money, nobody cared about me and I was riding the bus. But then the moment I got just a simple damn car, they all wanted to use me for rides and swarm me like bees and just be parasitical. And everybody wanted to drive my freaking car and act like they narcissistically had the fake authority to confiscate my keys and stuff like that, and would not allow me to drive my own car and treated me and yet they didn't have the authority to do this kind of bullying to me, that they think they have the authority to put me in detention when they have no authority over me. You not even a family member or a friend of mine. Like, you be like a near stranger. And then another narcissistic victim blamer will say, well, you allowed it, or you shouldn't have let them, whatever, or, and then they would use that to justify why, oh, she don't have the mentality to drive or have the sense to drive. Well, the idea of me being scared and having difficulty to stand up to people trying to take advantage of me, and I used to be very, scared of everything. But now, me realizing about this targeting helped me be less fearful and, standing up and fighting back, and then I get more persecuted, I've been bold enough to stand up to and confront these perps and stuff. Now everybody wants me to be back quiet again and say I should keep my mouth shut. And so, what was I saying? So anyway, I can't believe, wow, feel like it's only 19 and a half minutes I've been on here. The video seems like it's been longer, like I've been standing here talking longer than that. So, it's like I got a dizzying like headache all of a sudden. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not on no psychiatric medications. I can't believe I'm 37, almost 38, and I don't have easy access to cars. I don't have access to a car or to drive a car or nothing like that. Yeah, I want to drive so bad. I wish I could drive again. And you know, the ones who saying I don't have the mentality or the business to drive, you know, they're the ones who don't have the authority to make that decision about me. You know, and I when I had my car, there have been, you know, people who've crashed into me. More than once, I've had dealt with people who they bumped into me, they crashed into me, more than once. Once in New Orleans and once in Milwaukee. You know that you crashed into my car, and when in New Orleans, it was after Hurricane Katrina. It was, I remember it was two cars behind me, boom, boom, and then, and the ground wasn't slippery, so I don't understand what caused one car to bump into another car, and that car bumped into me, and then I bumped into that car, and then the car in front of that, boom, like about 5 of us cars, and it was like a sunny, normal morning. It wasn't even slick or wet outside. So I don't know if that was a freaking voodoo thing or attempted sacrifice or what, you know. And in Milwaukee, it was a white male who, boom, bumped into me. So everybody think that I'm just this crazy person who's not to be trusted with a vehicle or a gun. And then they say, oh, because when you get mad. But motherfucker, you do stuff on purpose to provoke me and make me mad and stuff. And just because I have a car doesn't mean that, you know, that I'm going to strike anybody. I mean, I've lived with knives for years and don't even, as an adult, and never threatened anybody with a knife as an adult. You know. But they're making like as if y'all know how the perps do. They provoke you on purpose. Like, I just saw a news article where Britney Spears, you know, they're bullying her and they're fighting. She's fighting against the conservatorship. She wants to be free. And some employee or some worker at her house claimed that Britney assaulted her or hit her. I'm like, bitch, you probably provoked Britney Spears. You know, you probably provoked Britney. You probably provoked her to hit you. Either probably provoked her to hit you, or you probably lied on her and said she hit you. And then they said there was no damage done. You know, but then Britney Spears is in more trouble now. I just read about that. You know, how they try to set you up and provoke you and stuff. And guess what? Celebrities that's called crazy, nobody takes away their car. Nobody treats them like a child and say that they don't have the mentality to drive. Y'all know Moniece Slaughter. Y'all know her? They call her crazy. They don't stop her from driving and having a car. I mean, I don't even think she ever drove reckless, but I think they attempted to sacrifice, I don't know who it was, attempted to have her sacrificed in a car accident. I think it was last year. You know, and my biological sister Ramona, it was February 18, 2005, before Hurricane Katrina. It was a Friday morning, and it was right after 11 o'clock, and she sent me, and it probably was 11 in the morning, who knows, but it was like that Ramona deliberately and on purpose blocked the door. When I talked about this before, I had an exam, and she thought it was, she's 19 years older than me, she thought it was funny to block me from going to school on purpose and ignorantly laugh. And then, you know, I don't even know if the perps rigged my rental car. There was a Mazda 6. It was a nice big car and comfortable too. And I love that car, the Mazda 6. And so, and then something later on bad happened to me that evening, but I don't have enough time in this video to talk about it. But I think I've talked about it in past videos. But you know, Ramona, I think she put a voodoo ritual on me to try to set me up to get killed that day. And then exactly 10 years later, hold up, stupid, why they make trucks this loud? The white foster boy, Cody Graves, I looked him up and he died 10 years later in a car accident. Exactly February 18, 2015, Cody Graves died. in a car accident. That's scary. That was almost me 10 years prior. And then when I told the foster mom, Adrian Felder, about when Cody died, she acted like she didn't care. When I told her about my cousin Blake died, she acted like she didn't care. But the foster sister Shelly, I wonder how the hell she knew all about Blake. It's like seemed like she knew more about Blake's death than I did. You know, like, so I mean, like, y'all don't care about us. Why y'all know so much more about our family than we do? Y'all, we're grown adults, and y'all still think y'all are handlers and everything. So, yeah, I'm done rambling on. More and more people gonna be mad and hate me, but I'll be silent and y'all still hate me.